When you wake up in the morning, before you even check your phone or step out of bed, there has to be something deep inside you that pulls you forward. Something that reminds you why you're doing what you're doing. Because when life hits you, and it will, when plans fall apart, when people doubt you, when you don't feel like showing up, that why is the only thing that will keep you grounded. The truth is, most people lose focus not because they don't have goals, but because they forget why they started. They forget the purpose behind the grind. Your why is not just a statement, it's a conviction. It's the fire that burns even when the world goes dark. It's what separates those who quit from those who keep fighting. You see, talent can only take you so far, motivation fades and opportunities come and go. But when you have a strong enough reason, when your heart is tied to what you're chasing, you become unstoppable. Because pain hits different when you're doing it for something bigger than yourself. Discipline feels different when it's tied to purpose. Think about the times in your life when everything seemed heavy. Maybe you were tired, maybe you were overlooked, maybe nothing seemed to be working. But if you stop for a moment and ask yourself, asterisk, why did I start this? Asterisk, you'd remember that it wasn't about applause. It wasn't about validation. It wasn't even about the result, it was about purpose. That's what gives you strength when the motivation runs out. The danger in not knowing your why is that distractions become more attractive than the mission. When you don't have a deeper purpose, you'll chase comfort instead of calling. You'll start comparing your journey to others, and you'll drift away from your path because you no longer have an anchor. But when you know your why, your focus becomes like a laser. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. You stop needing people's approval to keep moving. You learn to say no to what's easy so you can say yes to what's meaningful. People often say they want success, but success without purpose is empty. Purpose is what gives meaning to sacrifice. When you have a why, every setback becomes a setup for growth. Every failure becomes feedback. You don't run from difficulty, you learn from it. Because you understand that your struggle is part of the story that's shaping you for something greater. The why keeps your vision clear, even when your path is cloudy. When your why is strong, your focus doesn't depend on circumstances. It doesn't depend on how you feel. You don't need perfect conditions to perform. You show up because you're connected to something eternal. People who know their why don't just work hard, they work with heart. They understand that excellence is not about being seen, it's about being faithful to the purpose they've been given. And that's what separates the distracted from the determined. The world is full of noise, full of opportunities to lose sight of what truly matters. But when you've defined your why, you can walk through storms without losing your direction. You can take hits and keep your focus. You can fail and still rise again, because your purpose was never built on outcomes. It was built on meaning. So before you chase goals, before you set plans, take a moment and ask yourself, why am I doing this? What's the reason behind the effort, the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices? Because when you truly understand your why, focus stops being something you have to fight for, it becomes who you are. There will come a day when you won't feel like showing up. A day when you wake up tired, unmotivated, and unsure if all the effort is even worth it. That's the moment that separates the people who talk about their dreams from the ones who actually live them. Motivation is a spark, it gets you started, it feels good, it's emotional. But discipline, that's the engine. Discipline keeps you moving when the spark goes out. The truth is, if you only act when you feel motivated, you'll never build anything lasting. Because feelings change, energy fades, and excitement comes and goes. Discipline is what carries you through when the mood disappears. Every champion, every leader, every person who has achieved something meaningful knows that the path isn't built on moments of hype. It's built on daily choices, quiet, consistent, unseen choices. Discipline is waking up when you said you would, even when the bed feels warm and your body wants rest. Discipline is putting in the work even when nobody's watching. It's saying no to distractions, to excuses, to shortcuts. It's holding yourself accountable to the standard you set long before the emotion faded. Motivation says, I feel like doing it. Discipline says, I'm doing it because it's who I am. That's the difference. Motivation relies on external energy, a speech, a video, a result, a compliment. Discipline relies on internal standards. It's what you do when no one's clapping, when no one's cheering, when the applause is gone. The ones who understand discipline don't wait for perfect conditions. They build habits that keep them steady through the storm. They show up on the good days and the bad days, because they've made a commitment to themselves. There's power in showing up consistently. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen your character. You build trust with yourself. You teach your mind that your word means something. The most dangerous thing is to break promises to yourself, because when you do that, you lose confidence in your own potential. Discipline rebuilds that trust. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about doing what's necessary, not what's convenient. The world glorifies motivation, the highlights, the speeches, the big wins, but what it doesn't show you is the routine, the repetition, the lonely hours of discipline that create those moments. It's the early mornings when the world is still sleeping. It's the late nights when your mind is tired, but your heart says, one more rep, one more page, one more step. Discipline is quiet. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't demand recognition. It's built in the dark, and it shines when it matters most. Motivation fades because it's emotional. Discipline endures because it's a decision. When you make discipline your foundation, you stop chasing feelings and start creating results. You begin to understand that consistency beats intensity every single time. It's not about how fired up you are today, it's about how committed you'll be tomorrow when the excitement is gone. The real test of growth isn't how high you can go when you're inspired, it's how steady you can stay when nothing feels inspiring. Discipline is freedom. It frees you from the control of your emotions. It frees you from procrastination and regret. It gives you structure, and within that structure you find progress. People who rely on motivation will always be waiting for the right moment. People who rely on discipline create that moment through action, because they understand that the work itself produces momentum, and momentum produces motivation. So when the day comes that you don't feel like showing up, and that day will come, remember that the work still matters. The promise still stands. The purpose is still real. And if you have the discipline to stay the course, to keep moving forward regardless of how you feel, you'll discover that greatness isn't built in bursts of inspiration. It's built in the quiet consistency of doing what must be done, long after the excitement has faded. Your environment shapes your focus more than your intention ever will. You can have the biggest dreams, the clearest goals, and the strongest work ethic, but if the space you live in and the people you surround yourself with don't align with that vision, they'll slowly drain your energy. The truth is, your environment either feeds your purpose or starves it. It can push you to grow or pull you back into comfort. Protecting your environment doesn't just mean avoiding negativity. It means intentionally building a space that reinforces who you're trying to become. If you spend every day around people who complain, who doubt, who settle, that energy will rub off on you. You might start small, skipping one workout, delaying one task, making one excuse, and before you know it, you're becoming someone you never planned to be. But when you surround yourself with people who challenge you, who hold you accountable, who refuse to let you play small, you rise to their level. Energy is contagious. Attitudes are contagious. Discipline is contagious. And the environment you live in determines what you catch. Protecting your environment starts with awareness. You have to take a hard look around and ask yourself, is this space helping me grow or keeping me stuck? Are the conversations I'm having pushing me forward or pulling me into distraction? Because sometimes the reason we lose focus isn't because we lack drive, it's because our environment keeps feeding us noise. It's hard to stay locked in when your circle normalizes laziness. It's hard to stay disciplined when everyone around you is comfortable. That's why protecting your environment is an act of discipline itself. It's not just about people either, it's about habits, spaces, and energy. The music you listen to, the content you consume, the places you spend your time, all of it shapes your focus. If your phone is always filled with distractions, you're training your brain to lose focus. If your workspace is chaotic, your mind will mirror that chaos. Protecting your environment means creating structure, creating stillness, creating boundaries that keep your attention where it needs to be. You can't build clarity in clutter. You can't grow focus in noise. Sometimes protecting your environment means letting go of people you love but who aren't good for your growth. That's hard, but it's necessary. You can still love people from a distance while protecting your peace. Not everyone deserves access to your time, your mind, or your energy. When you give your focus to the wrong things, you rob your purpose of the attention it needs. Growth requires pruning, removing the things that no longer serve the next version of you. It's not selfish, it's stewardship. You have to decide what type of energy you're going to allow into your space. Because what enters your environment eventually enters your mind, and what enters your mind shapes your behavior. If you constantly feed on negativity, fear, gossip, or comparison, you'll start living through that lens. But if you feed yourself with purpose, gratitude, faith, and discipline, you'll start to see possibility where others see limitation. The mind is powerful, but it's fragile too. That's why you have to protect it like it's gold. The people who stay focused aren't always the smartest or most talented. They're the ones who guard their surroundings. They understand that their environment is either a tool or a trap. They don't waste energy fighting unnecessary battles or entertaining unproductive noise. They build circles that sharpen them, not distract them. They create spaces that align with their mission. They know that you can't grow in soil that doesn't feed your roots. So, protect your environment with everything you have. Protect your time, your energy, your peace, your focus. Be intentional about what and who you allow near your purpose. Because when your environment supports your growth, staying focused doesn't feel forced, it becomes natural. You don't have to fight for alignment when you live inside it. And that's how focus is built, not just by willpower, but by surrounding yourself with the right soil to grow. Everybody wants the outcome, but very few are willing to fall in love with the process. The outcome looks good, the success, the recognition, the applause, but the process is where the real work happens. The process is where your character is tested, your patience stretched, and your focus refined. The process is the grind no one sees, the struggle no one celebrates, the pain that shapes you into who you need to become to handle the outcome you're asking for. When you learn to embrace the process, you stop chasing results and start building resilience. Because the process doesn't just prepare you for success, it makes sure you're strong enough to keep it. The problem is most people quit when they don't see instant results. They think effort guarantees outcome, and when progress doesn't show up fast enough, they lose faith. But growth doesn't happen on your timeline, it happens on the timeline of consistency. You can't plant seeds today and expect fruit tomorrow. The process takes time. It requires trust. It requires you to show up every day even when nothing seems to be changing. That's the part most people skip, and that's why they never reach the other side. The ones who make it aren't necessarily the most talented, they're just the ones who kept showing up long enough for the process to reward them. The process teaches you what the outcome never could. It teaches you discipline when motivation fades. It teaches you humility when you fail and patience when you want to rush. It teaches you to appreciate the small steps, the invisible progress, the lessons hidden inside the struggle. Every delay, every disappointment, every detour is preparing you. The process is not punishment, it's preparation. It's molding your mindset, sharpening your focus, and strengthening your endurance so that when the outcome finally arrives, you're ready for it. The outcome is temporary, but the process is eternal. You might reach a goal and celebrate it for a moment, but the real joy comes from knowing what it took to get there. Because deep down, you don't fall in love with the trophy, you fall in love with the transformation. You start realizing that the reward isn't what you achieve, it's who you become in the pursuit. That's why embracing the process matters. It's about finding purpose in the journey, not validation in the result. When you commit to the process, you stop living for the applause and start living for growth. There will be moments when the process feels lonely, when no one's cheering, when progress feels invisible. That's when most people give up because they're addicted to the outcome. But if you can learn to find peace in the process, to appreciate the grind for what it's teaching you, you'll never lose focus. Because now, you're not chasing a finish line, you're chasing growth. You start realizing that success is not an event, it's a lifestyle. It's built in repetition, in showing up when it's boring, in doing the small things right over and over again. Every great story is built on a process that looked like failure before it looked like success. Every champion had a season of silence where no one noticed their work. Every dreamer had a stage where nothing made sense, but they kept going anyway. Because they understood that the process was the price. You can't skip the hard part and expect to hold the reward. The struggle is what makes it worth it. The process is what builds the foundation strong enough to handle what's coming. So, if you're in a season where it feels like nothing is moving, keep going. The process is doing its job. It's building something inside you that the outcome never could. Stop asking how long it will take and start asking how far you're willing to go. Because when you embrace the process, you don't just reach your goals, you outgrow them, and that's where real success begins. Pain has a way of introducing you to the real you. It strips away comfort, exposes weakness, and reveals what you truly believe in. Everybody loves the idea of growth, but nobody loves the process of pain that comes with it. Yet pain is one of the greatest teachers life will ever give you. It's raw, it's honest, and it doesn't lie. When you go through pain, you have two choices. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. The ones who turn pain into power are the ones who learn to use what was meant to stop them as fuel to keep going. Pain will visit everyone. No one escapes it. It might come through loss, failure, betrayal, disappointment, or rejection. It might show up in the silence when nothing's working the way you planned. But pain isn't there to destroy you, it's there to define you. It gives you perspective. It reminds you that strength is not built in comfort, it's built in resistance. The same way muscles grow when you push against weight, your spirit grows when you push against adversity. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every setback is an invitation to rise stronger. The truth is, most people run from pain because they think it's punishment, but pain is often proof that something inside you is being refined. It's pressure that forces you to stretch beyond what you thought you could handle. If you can stop asking, why me, and start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Pain becomes a powerful teacher. It gives you empathy, resilience, and wisdom that success never could. The experiences that hurt the most often become the ones that shape your character the deepest. Turning pain into power starts with a mindset shift. You have to refuse to let what happened to you define you. You have to make a decision that you'll use it to develop you. Because pain will always leave you with something. It can leave you with bitterness, or it can leave you with strength. You get to choose. The people who stay stuck are the ones who replay the hurt instead of rewriting their response to it. Power doesn't come from avoiding pain. It comes from processing it, from learning how to stand in it, from choosing to grow through it instead of just go through it. There's a kind of focus that only pain can give you. When you've been broken, when you've lost something, when you failed and survived, you stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You gain clarity. You start to see what's truly important. Pain removes the unnecessary and reveals what's essential. It humbles you, but it also awakens you. It gives you a sense of gratitude for moments you once took for granted. It gives you a hunger to make meaning out of your struggle. That's how pain becomes power. When you turn your suffering into service, your hurt into healing, your wounds into wisdom. Every great story has a chapter of pain in it. Every strong person you admire carries scars that taught them strength. They didn't get there because life was easy. They got there because they refused to let the pain win. They used it as motivation to push harder, to dig deeper, to become better. They turned their pain into purpose. That's the difference between the broken and the unbreakable. The unbreakable ones took what broke them and built something out of it. So, when life hits you, don't run from it. Feel it, learn from it, and then let it drive you. Let it remind you that you're still standing, that you've made it through things that should have taken you out. Turn your pain into focus. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Turn your heartbreak into hunger. Because the very thing that hurts you the most might be the thing that awakens your greatest strength. Pain doesn't have to be the end of your story. It can be the beginning of your power. Gratitude is one of the most powerful states of mind a person can live in, but it's also one of the hardest to maintain when life gets tough. It's easy to be grateful when things are going right, when the plan works, when the doors open, when the results come. But the real test of gratitude is whether you can keep your heart thankful when nothing seems to be going your way. Because gratitude isn't about what's happening around you. It's about what's happening within you. It's a perspective that refuses to let bitterness take root. It's the ability to see light even in the darkest seasons. When you keep a grateful heart, you protect your focus from being consumed by negativity, and you remind yourself that even in the struggle, there's something to appreciate. A grateful heart doesn't deny pain, it just chooses to see purpose in it. It understands that every day is a gift, even the hard ones. Gratitude keeps you grounded when success comes and keeps you strong when failure hits. It humbles you enough to remember where you started and strengthens you enough to keep going when the road gets long. When you live with gratitude, you start to realize that progress is a privilege. You stop taking opportunities for granted. You stop comparing your journey to others because you recognize how far you've already come. Gratitude gives you peace in the present while still keeping you hungry for growth. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's meaningful. Most people lose focus because they spend so much time staring at what they don't have. They live in a cycle of wanting more, chasing more, never satisfied with where they are. But gratitude teaches you to slow down and appreciate the small things, the breath in your lungs, the people who believe in you, the lessons that came from your pain. Gratitude reminds you that success isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about appreciating the journey that's shaping you. When you start each day thankful, you anchor your heart before the chaos begins. You see challenges differently because you're not looking for perfection. You're looking for progress. A grateful heart keeps you focused because it keeps you from getting lost in frustration. When you're grateful, you don't complain as much, you don't compare as much, and you don't quit as easily. You recognize that even the struggle has value. Every closed door is teaching you something. Every delay is protecting you from something you can't yet see. Gratitude teaches you patience because it helps you trust the process. It helps you remember that life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. The things that frustrate you today might be the very things that build your strength for tomorrow. Gratitude helps you see that the truth is a grateful heart can't coexist with a negative mind. You can't be thankful and resentful at the same time. You can't be focused on growth and stuck in complaint. Gratitude purifies your perspective. It keeps your spirit light when the weight of the world tries to drag you down. It makes you aware of blessings you used to overlook. It keeps you hopeful when the outcome is uncertain. Gratitude doesn't change your circumstances, it changes how you see them. It helps you find peace in the middle of pressure and purpose in the middle of pain. Every day, you have a choice to focus on what's missing or to focus on what's already in front of you. A grateful heart will always find a reason to keep going. It will find strength in small victories, beauty in ordinary moments, and joy in simple progress. Gratitude keeps you humble in success and resilient in failure. It reminds you that even if you don't have everything you want, you still have everything you need to keep moving forward. And when you live like that, when you choose gratitude, no matter what life throws your way, you'll find that your focus becomes stronger, your peace becomes deeper, and your spirit becomes unshakable.